Do you have a flashlight?
Ow. Flashlight.
No lightsaber.
Yo. it's the closest thing that has something that looks like a flashlight. But yes, it is a lightsaber, yes.
That'll do. It produces light. And that's perfect for this episode of a Gravity Falls review by Dragon King and Geeky Bear. Because he's an adult virgin. Where we are doing the episode of Little Dipper. Little Dip Dip.
Did you just call me an adult virgin?
Maybe.
You are incorrect. It wouldn't have been funny if it was correct, because I would have gone, you are absolutely correct.
Anyhow, this episode is episode 11. And its main focus is on
Li'l Gideon.
Li'l Gideon, which we haven't seen since episode 4.
Yes, episode 4. I'm looking at my ratings, and I know from my ratings that the Li'l Gideon, which one I rate the Gideon episode.
Well, technically, we saw him in episode 8 as well, which was Irrational Treasure, where it was just like a little cameo.
Yes, when he's
throwing tomatoes.
Yes, at Grunkle Stan. Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously this episode's focus is on Li'l Gideon, and he's trying to take over the mystery shack because he realizes that's the one thing he can take from Grunkle Stan, and basically to defeat the Pines family. So obviously he wants to. He tries to con him instantly by having someone come with a massive check, like, "Oh, you've won this." Was it like $1 million or something stupid like that?
Yeah.
And it's like, all you gotta do is sign this thing. He's like, signs it. He comes through. He's like, ha! It's all a ruse.
And then there's Li'l Gideon dance.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, check the signature. He turns it round. It's like a fucking insult. And he's like, yep, get out of here. And obviously, he's trying to come up with ideas. And the rest of the plot is involving Dipper and Mabel, because Dipper finds basically a growing / shrinking crystal in the forest.
Yeah.
Which he attaches to a torch, which is obviously why you referenced the torch at the start. And he uses that to basically keep growing, because he turns out Mabel is slightly taller than him now.
By a millimeter.
So obviously he's growing himself to make himself bigger. She finds it, they fight over it. Obviously Gideon finds it, turns him tiny, and the whole plot then is him trying to shrink Grunkle Stan.
Yep.
To basically just steal the shack from him in general. But of course it's Gideon, so it never ends well. That, and he smashes loads of mirrors, so that's instant bad luck there. You know, as soon as he smashes those mirrors, he's lost. So
for a good few years, he's not going to win.
Yeah, basically. And so I don't think it's as good as the first Gideon episode.
The first episode.
I think it's good. I do think it's quite funny.
But it's not.
It's not
peak Gideon.
Pow. Yeah, it's all right. Obviously. It's probably better than some of the episodes we've seen.
Oh, definitely.
Than the weaker ones we refer to as.
Like the legendary.
Remember, different mindsets on that one. We had the same mindset more on the big Minotaur one. So that's kind of the mindset I was thinking there.
All right.
It's definitely better than, like that one, for example. But I wouldn't say it's as good as the first Li'l Gideon one when we first get him. Because that one's pretty funny. Obviously, it introduces the magic aspect. And obviously shows who the character is, whereas this one, I don't know, it's just basically him just getting really annoyed and just trying to steal stuff. It's funny at times, like especially when see Zeus shrinks and they kind of leave him shrunken. That's quite funny. But other than that, it's just, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's peak Gravity Falls.
No, I mean it shows a bit more supernatural kind of aspect.
Yeah,
but it's not the best episode, but it's not the worst. It's a good average episode.
Yeah. It's got some good moments in, but then it's got a lot of moments when it's just like... You
get a bit more character development for Gideon.
Yes. Agreed. 100%.
And you see how much of Eric Cartman he is.
You mean the pettiness? Because he's not getting what he wants?
Yeah.
The fact that his mum's just really scared of him. And just like, just keep doing this, keep doing this. And his dad... he's trying to be an actual dad at times, like the whole tickling and all that, and then he's just like turns and he's like, "What did I say, old man? Don't tickle."
Tickling is not a funny matter.
Do you need a ride, son? No, I'll take the bus. Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting, obviously, we get to see his mom. That's
Yeah.
obviously a character that we haven't seen yet. And you can kind of see why, because she's trying to stay away from him as much as she
Yeah.
possibly can. Because she's just like everyone else when they will realize what he's like, scared of him. She's realized what a little monster this fucking thing is. Whereas his dad, he's still trying to be a dad, trying to support him, trying to
Yeah.
be there for him. But at the same time, he's getting pushed over by his son. I say the tickling thing when he like fully like has him like, what did I say?
Tickling is no laughing matter.
Yep. And it's like he's still trying to be a dad, but at the same time he's just getting kicked the shit out of himself by this kid.
Yeah.
And they said the mom is then really timid, hiding away, like, yep, just keep cleaning, just keep cleaning.
Poke it up, poke it up, poke it up, afro. Sorry. Yeah.
It's not really much to say about this episode, is it really? I mean,
pretty much.
The flashlight stuff is funny, especially with the fucking hamster or guinea pig, whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, Mabel's like, right. It's like, oh, you're just a big dummy, aren't you?
And the invisible wizard.
The invisible wizard and the koala gummies when she gets dropped in the wrapper of gummies and she's eating them all and she's like, I'll save you for later. She's got the little gummy sticking out of a pocket.
Yeah.
That's funny. Plus, as I said, there's Zeus being trapped as a tiny Zeus with the little sign saying, help Zeus.
Help Zeus.
But obviously they're like, uh-oh, get some glue. Which is obviously funny because he started... So no, that kind of reminds me. Wasn't it glue last time that Grunkle Stan was after when they found out at the height?
Yeah.
So it's funny that that episode started with the height, which is obviously the previous one, and this one it ends with them referencing glue.
Yeah, which is height. I mean, I think you're the only person who's made that reference and like made that conclusion.
Because I thought it was the start of this episode, and then I realised, wait, no, it's not the start of this episode. The start of this episode was the brain. It was the female brain that Zeus wanted him to get. Yeah. And obviously, he's like, oh, I want Mabel to get it because she's taller than you. That's what made me got confused. So I was like, wait, no, the start of this episode wasn't about the glue. I mean, it would have been funny if it was, because obviously then that would have been a little full circle joke to that. Yeah. Really, there wasn't like anything early on that played a part in this finale, was there? Because usually there's something little that somehow plays some sort of part. But there wasn't, I don't think...
The crystal, but that's about it.
So I don't think there's really much here. I think the one thing that does play early on into this maybe the Grunkle Stan hat, because Zeus puts it on and obviously Gideon gets confused. Maybe that's about as far as you can say. And
plus Zeus says, I can't remember what he says now, but he's just like, one day.
He's basically the one day that he's basically going to be in charge, basically, sort of thing.
And that one day will happen.
And so that's not actual reference, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen the later episodes, but I kind of remember something like that happening eventually. Yeah, it's not much to say really about this episode. Like, the crystal stuff's fun. Gideon's back, so that was pretty fun. But other than that, it's just... Yeah, basically. There's a few little things that are little neat stuff, like the sounds when they're small. You can hear that it's louder. They're seeing stuff a lot differently. It's... That's quite fun and obviously really good. Obviously,
and the animals.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, it's just a nice little touches that add to it. But just overall, there's not really much to say about this one. It's a bit weaker, especially compared to the ones we've had recently. But it's not shit. Like, it's weak, but it's not the weakest, I'd say.
Agreed.
Like, all the plots are just... Like, the plots don't overshadow each other.
No,
they flow.
It's one singular plot.
Yeah, it's just one singular plot, and there's not much to say about it. So let's just rate this Mama Jamma. What are you going to give it, son?
8.6.
8.6, which... Okay. I've got a cookie on my way in a minute. Oh, I'm looking at my... Huh? What, sorry?
Horse-fed a cookie.
Now, do I prefer the treasure one to this one or not? The treasure one was episode 8, correct?
Yeah.
I I'm gonna say 8.5.
Hmm.
I was debating then. I was like, is it 8.6 as well? I gave it. My first original mindset was like around 8.7. Obviously, that's how I kind of was working my mind. And I was like, is it 8.6 as well? Am I going to agree with you 2 episodes in a row? But I thought, no, I better not. I was going to mind meld. We don't want that again. Too much it takes two melded our minds into one. So yeah, I'm going to go 8.5 on this one.
Nice.
I'm going to let you do the outro so I don't start jumping in on you as you're doing it.
Oh, I was leaving it for you. Okay. Thank you for watching. Make sure you leave your... Just so you could have the fucking cookie.
Exactly, I was throwing the burp one.
Thank you for watching this episode. Make sure you leave your comments below about what you thought of this episode, and make sure you check me out on Twitch, and make sure you make sure that you subscribe and follow. No, subscribe and like the video. And we'll tune in next time for Summerween.
There's one with the horror monster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Top hat.
Yeah, Summerween.
Ooh, spooky.
Mm.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.